Hello and welcome to another video. So we're taking a look at Neutral Rune, top of the meta. We've taken a look at this kind of deck before, but this is a lot more refined down to what is more traditionally used. It's got a much heavier top end now, which isn't too surprising. I mean, that was kind of all Neutral Rune needed, so once people worked that out, it was pretty easy to build around. So a few are running Ginger. This one personally, I'm not running Ginger. I just don't like the card much and would prefer not to use it personally. Everything else is kind of not situational, but can be changed in number. I mean, you could run 3 Warns, you can run the Bards, you can run, things can be altered pretty nicely around this deck as long as you've got the core structure of the neutral and the kind of Cycle Hill and top end combos, you're pretty well off, honestly. So, just a couple of comments on cards. The Bard, really great card for shutting down things like Dragon, Shadow, Blood, anything that relies on fanfares, even mirror matches. This card is great for shutting things down. As long as you can defend it, that's the main key. If you can defend this card, it will do amazing work for you, which I'm sure you'll see. We've also got the Hector, of course, pretty prime card. The Mage, which you could run 3 of, a lot of people do. I've only got 2 and I can't bother crafting an extra one, it's the only reason I haven't. Everything else is pretty stock standard. The Lucifer, great for healing, stops aggro decks. Same with Israfel. Zeus, great for getting lethals, especially when comboed with Cycle Hill. It opens up, turn 7 to 10 before you actually have to worry about things. And then all the early game is just your neutral package, Alice, Witch of Sweets, the Mysterian Grimoire, because you're not running spells, so it's great. And other than that, that's pretty much the whole deck, so we'll get some games here. Okay, so match 1 is against Dragon. One of the, I would say, mediocre kind of matches for this deck. I mean, if you don't do well, you're going to do bad, I guess. That's all I can really say, there's not much else. Witch of Sweet's a great draw engine card, along with the Mysterian Grimoire and the Goblin Mages. All open up some good plays in the long run. Mulligan's usually looking for any of your 2-drops, maybe even Alice. They work out pretty nicely. Mysterian Grimoire, or Grimoire, however you want to pronounce things, is not a bad 3-drop, but you've got to be careful depending on what you're versing. This Dragon here, fortunately, not too heavy on the early game. We got our Angel Alert out, why not? Use all our points, play it out. Another alright card, it does allow you to trade up pretty well and you can go for those like 1 damage lethals sometimes. They're pretty rare. So, Witch of Sweets, I mean, is a great card, but this Bard is just as good, so why not? Plus, most of the time you can play Witch of Sweets without any worry. So, Bard does stop a lot of plays. It's a really good lockdown card, especially against things like Dragon that will play things like Sybil, this way they don't gain that extra stat line. Unfortunately, this one happened to have Dragon Warrior making not so great work of it. I mean, it's nice that we get to see the Dragon Warrior get played out, but it does put us in kind of a disadvantageous spot. Like I said, Dragon's one of the iffy matchups for me. You can win, you can lose. I found it about 50-50, but I also don't have a heap of playtesting on this deck personally. Some of the easier matchups are kind of aggro orientated, so you can tempo out most aggro decks. Some of them will get you very close, but usually you can pull back with the Lucifers and Israfels. A deck that might give you a problem may be Haven. If Haven starts off with a good hand, it's able to leaderboard consistently, but even then it's more of an iffy match. I would say this deck doesn't really have any necessarily really bad matches. I would say it has some mediocre matches more so, at least from what I have played of it so far. I haven't had enough testing to outright say this is a bad matchup, this is a perfect matchup. Most of them are pretty average, but it does have good consistency. You'll quite often have enough cards to flood the board and deal the damage that you want to deal. Bahamut, of course, problem card no matter what you're versing. Luckily though, Cycle Hill Zeus is already lethal. For a second I was doubting myself, going, really? Cycle Hill, Zeus, do I have to ram into Bahamut? And then I forgot, yeah, Zeus has Storm, so the summon is lethal no matter what, which is awesome. This next matchup is pretty quick. I'm pretty sure it was a mirror, and if it wasn't a mirror, it was very close to being one. Fortunately, we do have double Wandering Bard, which, like I said, is a really good card for mirror matches. So if you are going up against a rune, it's not bad to keep one if you do already have it in your opening, or even try maybe mulligan for one. Especially if you do manage to defend it. Hector being a prime card to defend Bard. Fortunately, we have 3 Celestial Archers, so playing one of them out is pretty okay. I mean, it's not really a disadvantage just to play the one out here. And of course, Alice. Since we drew Alice, I do decide to go face. I mean, force them to trade over us trading, and because they're on turn 3, they're less likely to be able to kill off the board. And luckily, they also hit me in the face with that, meaning that the Alice Evolved can actually trade. Not Evolved, but the Alice will make the Archer trade quite nicely. So now we've just got to be prepared to take this down. I mean, we've got some okay plays here. The Archer is a great way to trade into this. And since we have the points, setting up the Wandering Bard is actually okay. Especially since they are both 3/3s, making them a little hard to remove. I mean, worst case, we would get Mage, but even then we would probably still do okay if they don't have anything else to actually deal damage with. Wizardess of Oz. So this is where the kind of crux of this match kind of concludes, I guess, or the... I don't know, the peak of the match. They play that, we have the Hector. Fortunately, drawing into Alice, Hector then gets stability, allowing us to kill that off, while at the same time evolving the Bard, meaning any fanfare effects that they may have will now no longer activate. The same with the Earthright Enhance and Necromancy, so they concede, obviously, not having anything and losing all their spells at the start of next turn. Alright, and the final matchup here is against Blood. Very aggro-orientated Blood deck, so it does give me a nice bit of variation to showcase. We do start off with the Alice. I do drop the Celestial Archer. I don't see the point on having 2 of them in hand in this matchup. I could go for any other 2-drop and it would probably be better because then I'd have at least different choices to go with. And unfortunately, between the Lucifer, Zeus, Unica, and Lyriel, not too bad, especially when boosted with Alice. Not so lucky, they play Vania turn 2, which I'm guessing was because they had a setup for bats, so playing the Unica was my only decent option. Try and hopefully force a trade if I can, and if I can't, I will at least heal the damage. But we do have to trade, we can't leave that Vania alive. Too much of a risky play, and the War Cyclone, a nice ward. And it does defend our health and keep us sane. But the Demonic Strike soon vanquishes all my wishes. Luckily, the Celestial Archer, 1 damage to those bats, plus the trade would have been nice, but I do decide to take the Wonderland Explorer just because the Lyriel boosted is so much better. I mean, I was heavily debating on playing that Archer out, but because I had nothing to go with it, I just didn't feel it was worth it at that stage. Plus, I have the chance of playing it in the next turn anyway, along with Goblin Mage, which is just that little bit nicer, especially since I'll both be 3/3s. Meaning we can do some pretty wondrous trading, but the Alice draw. That Alice draw really kind of messed me up a little bit. I could have done the clear. I could have got rid of 3 things off the board, left just 1 up. But clearing 2 seems okay, and boosting again just felt right. I mean, how many times am I going to get a chance to play Alice this match? Not so lucky though. Furious. Fortunately, it all pays off, and the Lyriel still gets the value on that Urius there. So I do take 1 extra damage that I kind of didn't want to take. I mean, there were plenty of ways to play out this hand, but the way I went about it seemed okay at the time. Now that I'm looking back at it, maybe I should have went for the earlier clear and made sure their board was a little less stable. But we've also got the Lucifer Zeus and, well, both Zeuses double boosted already, so can't say it was all bad. And we're also in Evolve Up, which is a nice little thing to be. The Mysterian Grimoire and Goblin Mage. I do decide to play the Goblin Mage first just because it is a 4/4 boosted follower. And luckily that does draw us the Mage. Kind of what I was aiming for. The other choice was to go with the Grimoire and hope that I do into something. But having that guaranteed 2-drop draw kind of worked out in our favour. Does mean we can get rid of most of their board, leaving them very limited on lethal options. They would have to draw into extra damage on top of what they already have. The not so good part, they're on 3 health, while we're on 5, meaning each turn it's going to be harder and harder to deal lethal. On the plus side, we have Lucifer, which kills aggro really hard. Not so lucky though, their draw? Yeah, Dance of Death. Pretty much the perfect thing to kill that Lucifer there. And I'd probably make a slight misplay. I probably should have just played the Isafil straight away instead of doing the draw. It would have put me in a much nicer position. Although playing it next turn still does work out okay. But it does mean I don't get to play Zeus the turn I probably would have wanted to play Zeus. And as you can see, putting me to 1 health doesn't feel very safe. But with that 4 health, it doesn't really seem like they're going to be making a comeback. So a nice way to round it up. And that rounds out one of the probably strongest decks in our current meta, Neutral Rune. Such a powerhouse of a deck. There's nothing that can really go wrong when playing it. I mean, there's a little bit of planning out with each move. You want to make sure that you're not going to be misplaying, and with practice that becomes easier and easier, as I was seeing as I was playing each match through. I realized that certain plays were better against certain matchups, and you realize that with most decks as you go on, but this in particular, while it seems very simplistic, and for the most part it is, there are some nice little things to watch out for when playing it. So if you guys enjoyed this video, as always the deck list will be in the description below. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe, and I will catch you guys next time. See ya.